everyone. My name is Eric Marcus, and I'm here today to tell you about a brand new book that I think every animal advocate will want to check out and probably buy. The book is called CAFO, Concentrated Animal Feeding Operations, and it's based on a book, actually it's a coffee table version of a book that came out a few months ago called the CAFO Reader. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be one of the authors who was included in this CAFO Reader book. I was first approached by the editor a year or two ago about contributing, adopting a portion from one of my books for this project. And when I first read through the CAFO Reader when it came out about 4 months ago, I was just totally impressed, because this was really the first book to come along that anthologized all the leading voices from the movement opposing factory farming. And I felt that the editor did just a magnificent job of selecting not just the people who would be included, but also choosing some of their most important work. And I really believe that the CAFO Reader is a book that every animal advocate needs to read. It may be the best single starting point for somebody to learn about the factory farm issues and get a real diversity of opinion about the subject and how it could best be tackled. Now I have a confession to make. When I was approached about contributing to the CAFO Reader, I was also told that several months after publication they would be coming out with this coffee table version of the book, which is simply titled CAFO, Concentrated Animal Feeding Operations. And I have to say that I thought it was a pretty dumb idea. The reason for that is, well, what person in their right mind would want to buy a coffee table book on factory farming? It just didn't make any sense to me. But you know, I just got my hands on this version of the book, and I have to say I could not have been more mistaken. This is a book that every serious animal advocate needs to get their hands on. And here's why. You only get so many opportunities to bring up the issue of factory farming with family and friends. And so I feel like when you approach somebody, you better have the best and most persuasive and most impactful material that you could possibly have, because oftentimes you only get one chance. And that's where a monstrous book like this, I mean, this thing is just ginormous. That's where a book like this really exerts some effect. It makes an impact the moment you lay eyes on it. But more than that, the photographs in this book are first rate, and as somebody who's been doing vegan advocacy for 20 years or more, I have to say that this is a whole new ball game as far as how you can present the issues. Now, I've seen thousands of photographs taken from factory farms over the years, and they've typically been in tiny vegan-oriented literature that's passed out for free, or I've seen them on the computer. So I thought that I'd been exposed to a whole wealth of factory farming photographs. But it turns out that when you include photographs like these on a scale that a coffee table book permits, the impact of the photographs is just 10 times greater. I just want to show you one, just so you can get a flavor of this. Maybe I'll show you a couple. But here's a photograph from the inside of a battery egg facility. And let me tell you, when you see this couple of pages in person, obviously the lighting on my webcam isn't beginning to do it justice. But when this book is sitting in your lap and you see what it's like for these chickens on this sort of with a photograph with this kind of size and detail, it's just so much more impactful. As somebody who's been to one of these facilities, you know, it is the next best thing to being at an actual factory farm, to see the photographs at this size. And here's a farrowing crate, a pair of farrowing crates for modern commercial pigs. And once again, a small photograph would just not do justice to this kind of atrocity that's being carried out on farmed animals today. You really need to see it at this scale. So this is a book to buy even if you're a full-time animal advocate, even if you're already vegan, because you know you're going to have people over at your house at some point who would like to become acquainted with the issues. And there is just nothing like this to break out and to show to somebody to make an impression. And you know, when you're an animal advocate, making a big impression is really where everything begins and ends. It's and to have a book of this quality, and it contains the full text of the CAFO reader on top of all these photos, you have something that's just a wonderfully written tool, and you get these impactful photos. This in a very real way is one of the most impressive animal advocacy projects I've ever seen, and I'm so happy to come forward and admit how mistaken I was about the intelligence of coming out with a coffee table sized book on this particular subject. So to wrap things up, if you're on the fence about whether to get this thing, let me tell you, this will be an asset to your animal advocacy that you just cannot replicate or get anywhere else. There's nothing like this, and it was just a brilliant idea to come up with this particular book, and I urge you to get a hold of it. So thanks for listening, and good luck with your own animal advocacy.